At 7:30 in the evening, Vicky was sitting at Pizza Corner restaurant, deeply lost in thought. It's hard to believe that Sunina, who swore to stand by me through thick and thin, vanished. As soon as my bad times arrived, I've started this delivery job, but I don't feel like I can stick with it for long. Just then, the phone placed in front of him started ringing. He picked up the receiver and put it to his ear. "Hello, this is Vicky from Pizza Corner," he answered. "Tell me, what would you like to order?" "This is Sumitra speaking," replied the voice on the other end. "I just want one thing, a pizza." "Mum, could you please provide your address?" Vicky asked. "I'll do it right away. I'll bring it. Black Forest Bungalow number 56. Black Forest. Yes, he'll come soon." In very hungry, Vicky packed his pizza and then took out his bike to head towards Black Forest. The name Black Forest itself feels so ominous, but what to do? Work calls. After riding for about 20 minutes, he had just reached an intersection when his bike broke down. Damn! What happened to it now? This is a strange problem. He has to deliver the pizza within 10 minutes and now the bike is broken. They say friends are very helpful in times of trouble. "Hey Navin, are you here with friends? I was returning home after the party when I overheard those conversations you were having with yourself." Now that Ivy heard it, "Tell me, what should I do? This order needs to be delivered to Black Forest. The customer is a lady. If I get late, who knows what she might say?" "Oh, if it's a lady, then I should take you along with me. When we come back, we'll bring a mechanic with us. What do you say?" Vicky didn't think much and then parked his bike in the jungle, moving forward with Navin. After a while, both reached Black Forest. Dense jungle surrounded them on both sides, neither any houses nor any huts in sight. "Hey buddy, I only have 5 minutes left and I still haven't seen any houses." "Hurry up!" Within the next 3 minutes, they spotted a big bungalow. "Thank God. Yes, this must be the address. Bungalow number 56. Navin brought the bike inside the gate. They both got off and reached the door. Vicky rang the bell and a beautiful girl opened the door. She was wearing a blue sari, which made Navin's heart flutter. "Yes, Mum, I'm from Pizza Corner. Here's your pizza." Vicky said, "Thank you," she replied, taking the pizza from Vicky's hand. Then she said, "I'll go get the money. Please wait here." Man, this girl doesn't look like just any girl. She looks like a nymph and it seems she's alone in the house. I say let's take a chance and see no man. You know, I'm not like that. Haven't you seen the size of this house? There must be a lot of valuables in the safe. Both our lives could change. At that moment, the girl came out of the room. Here Vicky took the money and then they left. "Dude, why don't you understand the situation? Why can't you get it? I don't understand anything. You're just blabbering," Navin said. Just then Vicky received a message from Sunina on his phone. "If you don't get your own house and a good job within 3 days, forget about me. Dad is fixing my marriage with his friends, son." Reading this message, Vicky's tension increased. How can I become rich in just 3 days? Dude, it's not 3 days, it's just one night. Tell me, what's your plan? Listen, here's the deal. I'll go into that girl's room, distract her, and meanwhile, you empty the safe and take out all the money and jewelry. After that, blindfold her so she can't seek help from the police, and then we'll leave from here. A while later, they both entered the house. Seeing that the girl was still in her room, I go there and you empty the safe, Navin, with desire in his eyes. Vicky walked into the girl's room and went near the wardrobe, attempting to open it. It opened smoothly. Amazing! There wasn't even a lock on it. He saw that the safe contained a lot of money and gold and his eyes widened. "How did you come into my house and what are you doing in my room?" she exclaimed. "There's no need to make a scene. I'm just here to keep you company," Vicky replied. "Leave from here now or else. I'll call the police," she threatened. Seeing her determination, Navin's courage wavered. He was about to pounce on her when suddenly a door opened. The door slammed shut behind her, the same room Navin had entered. There was another big room inside. "You can't escape from me today," he said. As soon as he entered the room, Navin's eyes widened in shock. He saw 4 dead bodies lying on the ground. They all were wearing pizza corners, t-shirts, and the bodies were so decayed that maggots were crawling on them. "What is this? So many dead bodies!" Suddenly he heard an eerie laughter. He turned around to see Sumitra standing at the door, laughing in a bizarre manner with something hidden behind her back. "All this was the same as you both had ordered before hearing this." Navin's heart sank. "I can easily beat you. You can't scare me." Just then, anger flashed on Sumitra's face. Her eyes turned red and her nails grew long. Seeing this, Navin screamed in fear. "Come on, my love, end my loneliness." "No, no." Navin wanted to free himself, but Sumitra's grip was strong. Sumitra now lifted the knife in her hand and pressed it against Navin's shoulder. As soon as Navin's scream reached Vicky's ears, he was startled. Now he hurried towards that room, and upon reaching the room, he saw the same door there too. Inside the room was another chamber. He quickly entered that room. As soon as he stepped into the room, his foot slipped and he fell to the ground. Then he witnessed the most terrifying scene of his life. There were 5 corpses in the room, one of which was Navin's Sumitra, in the form of a witch was sitting next to Navin's head. She plucked out one of Navin's eyes and threw it on the ground. Vicky's breath caught and a shiver ran down his entire body. Laughs. "He wanted to gouge my eyes out using this, didn't he? Now look, I've taken his eyes instead." Vicky's breaths were coming fast. He couldn't understand what to do next. Should he run forward? He attempted to run back towards the door, but it had closed on its own. "Open it! Open the door! Someone save me! Before your last breath escapes, I would prefer to tell you something. The corpse you are seeing, all of them, are delivery boys from Pizza Corner. Seeing them, do you have any questions in your mind?" Was Navin just hitting the door, but there was no one outside to open it? Then Sumitra began to speak on her own. Sumitra's husband was out for a week. She had gone and she was alone at home. Being alone, she didn't feel like cooking at all. "I'll just order pizza," she thought. She called Pizza Corner and placed an order. Half an hour later, the doorbell rang. She opened the door to find a delivery boy standing there, holding the pizza. He looked her up and down. "Give me my order and take your money," she said. He gave her the pizza and then asked, "Are you alone at home?" "What do you mean by that? This is a big house and you're so beautiful. That's why I'm asking. Be careful, you don't need to worry." Sumitra shut the door on the delivery boy's face, but the poison of lust had already seeped into his mind. At midnight, armed with a pickaxe, he returned and began to break the door. "Who's there?" Sumitra ran towards the door and the door began to crack. Seeing this, she got scared. Stop, broke please. The door, and the same delivery boy entered. "Stay away from me, or I'll call the police." That delivery boy attacked Sumitra. He assaulted me and showed such brutality that I couldn't bear it. That's when my soul got trapped inside my own house. I decided that I would eliminate every boy who tries to force himself on me when I'm alone. Forgive me, I wasn't going to attack you, but you were with him, weren't you, who wanted to violate my dignity. Now you'll also have to die. Saying this, she picked up a piece of broken glass from the ground and attacked Vicky's leg. "Oh God, save me. I'll never do anything wrong." Vicky tried to get up from the ground. "You're quite strong. Let me first cut off your leg, after that I'll deal with you easily," she said and moved forward. Just then, Vicky's mobile phone survived and the voice of Hanuman Chalisa started playing. "Stop it, turn it off." Holding her ears, Sumitra moved away from Vicky. Now Vicky also gained courage. He saw that the call was from his mother and Hanuman. Chalisa was his ringtone. Limping Sumitra began to advance towards him. "Stay away from me, don't come near me. Turn it off, or I'll kill you." "I can't do anything now." Vicky's mind started working properly. He saw that there was a large window in the room which was open towards the outside. Jai Bajrang Bali. No, Vicky jumped out of that window. He injured his leg, but still fearing for his life, he ran away. Then he got on Navin's bike and left from there. He could still hear the screams of that soul in his ears. "You can't deceive me. You can't." Vicky accelerated and didn't dare to look back. It was 2 a.m. Rajan was traveling from Mumbai to Delhi in his car with his friend Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu had been driving continuously for 9 hours. Due to continuous driving, he was feeling very tired. "Abhimanyu, I think we should take a shortcut from Rajasthan to reach Delhi. We'll arrive 2 hours earlier. Anyway, my condition has deteriorated from continuous driving, and on top of that, the fuel is running very low." "Yes, buddy, there doesn't seem to be any petrol pump nearby. That's why I'm saying let's take the shortcut through Rajasthan. We'll surely find a petrol pump there." Abhimanyu turned the car onto the highway leading towards Rajasthan. About an hour later, Arjun and Abhimanyu were driving fast along the highway, passing through a deserted village of Madhavgarh, when suddenly their eyes fell on a petrol pump. Suddenly Abhimanyu's car jerked and stopped. Arjun was already half asleep and he said a sudden,
"What happened? Why did the car stop? Can't you see? Is there a petrol pump ahead? And there's only this much petrol left in the car that it can only go another 20 to 30 kilometers. For a moment, I thought there was an accident. Hey, I didn't stop the car. Arjun, I was looking at this petrol pump." Arjun replied, "Whatever happened, happened for good. We had to get petrol from somewhere. Anyway, Abhimanyu and Arjun got out of the car. They saw that the petrol pump attendant was standing outside and the car had stopped by itself. But whatever happened, it was for the best. We had to get petrol from somewhere, right?" Abhimanyu and Arjun got out of the car. They saw that the attendant was standing outside. A dreadful and eerie silence hung over the petrol pump. "Hey, buddy, I don't see anyone here. Is this petrol pump closed? I mean, is it closed? Because the office in front is open and the lights are on. And look, there's a small restaurant inside the petrol pump and its lights are on too. But I think there's no one inside that restaurant either. Oh, what's the big deal about this? Well, fill the petrol ourselves. Who will notice us at this hour? If the petrol pump attendant sees us, he'll think we're thieves. There's not even a single person around the petrol pump, not even a mouse." Just then, a heavy voice came from behind them. Who's there hearing the voice? They both turned around and looked back. Standing in front of them was a person with a strange face. Hey, this guy looks terrifying. It feels like he just rose from the cemetery. Dude, you're absolutely right. I was scared seeing his face at first glance. But what does it matter to us? We just need to get petrol and leave from here. After saying this much, Abhimanyu said to the attendant, "Where were you just a few seconds ago? We didn't see anyone around. Focus on your work, sir. Tell us, why are you here?" "Oh, we need to fill petrol. Fill the tank upon Abhimanyus." Request the petrol pump attendant started filling petrol. Just then, Arjun's gaze fell on the ground of the petrol pump. Arjun got scared badly. Abhimanyu looked down. These are bloodstains. Even then, the voice of that attendant collided into their ears. The tank is full, finished, so he disappeared from their sight. Seeing this, the eyes of both Abhimanyu and Arjun widened with horror. Oh, it seems we have come to the wrong place. They both immediately sat inside the car. Arjun sped up his car on the highway. Abhimanyu had been driving for more than an hour, but the road seemed endless. Just then, Arjun's gaze fell on another petrol pump. Hey, this petrol pump seems familiar. Stop the car, man. What's wrong with you? We need to get out of here, haven't you seen how the petrol pump attendant disappeared from our sight? Not trying to understand the situation for a second, stop the car and see. Hearing Arjun's words, Abhimanyu stopped his car. It was the same petrol pump from which they had fled. Eyes widened. They were looking at that petrol pump when suddenly they heard the voice of the same attendant. You didn't give me the money for petrol, sir. As soon as they looked in front of the window, the same attendant with his terrifying face was looking at them. Within moments, Arjun and Abhimanyu's screams pierced the silence. 3 months after this incident, at 5 o'clock in the evening, a car was speeding on the Madhavgarh highway. 3 people were inside the car, Karan, Nandini and Vijay. They were police officers investigating the disappearance of Arjun and Abhimanyu. 3 months ago, Vijay was driving the car, and he had been driving for quite some time. Hey, we've been driving on this highway for the past 6 hours, but there's nothing here except silence and emptiness. Even I can't understand anything. What were Arjun and Abhimanyu doing in this deserted area at this time of night? Their mobile's last location is around here near this place. Nandini, who was in the car. The person on the back seat was dozing off, suddenly said, I wonder if those guys are alive or not. Hey Nandini, don't talk like that. Abhimanyu said Arjun and Abhimanyu, whatever they were our friends. Yes, top-grade bribe takers. People used to come and complain to me about them. What do you want, Nandini? If they both took bribes, shouldn't they have been investigated to find out where they disappeared? What Vijay is saying is right, Nandini. Every other person in the department takes bribes, and not everyone is as honest as you. Suddenly, the car jerked violently and came to a sudden stop. Vijay felt as if the car had collided with an invisible vehicle or a wall. Vijay's body was drenched in sweat. Karan and Nandini were also extremely nervous. With anyone, said Nandini, as the car came to an abrupt halt. Then Karan's gaze fell on a petrol pump. Look, there's a petrol pump ahead. Why don't we go there and inquire? Karan was right, said Vijay. The car had stopped right in front of the petrol pump. Vijay, Karan and Nandini got out of the car and went inside the petrol pump. There were some people at the petrol pump and the 3 of them went inside. A restaurant located within the petrol pump. The back seats were empty, with only 4 cushions present where some villagers were sitting and having their meals. Suddenly Vijay said to Nandini, I'll be right back, I'll come with you, sure I'll wait, replied Nandini, who was alone there observing the people around. Nandini was a policewoman, and then an oddly looking person came and stood in front of her. What would you like to have for lunch? For now I need a cup of tea, said Nandini, "Sure, let me get you a cup of tea," replied the boy, who later gave Nandini the tea and left. Ainsi, she noticed a severed finger inside the cup and screamed, running out of the restaurant. "What happened, Nandini? Why are you so panicked? And why is there sweat on your forehead? This petrol pump is weird," said Karen. And as he spoke, Nandini recounted the entire incident in one breath. Hearing Nandini's story, both Karen and Vijay started to look at her intently. "Looks like you're overwhelmed and exhausted," remarked Karen. When Karen and Vijay went inside to check, they saw the people inside the restaurant had turned monstrous. "Keep looking and save yourselves," yelled Karen, and he and Nandini quickly left. But Vijay couldn't make it out. Vijay's agonizing scream tore through the silence. "We need to quickly get into the car." "How will we get into the car?" "Nandini, the car is nowhere in sight." "What do you mean?" "It's nowhere to be seen." "It was right here. Where did it go?" Karen's voice echoed, "Panic, we shouldn't waste our time chatting now. Grab my hand and run as fast as you can." Both of them started running away from the petrol pump, panting heavily. As they ran, Nandini screamed, "Karen, we've come back to the same place." Karen, breathing heavily, realized they were indeed in front of the petrol pump. Just then, Vijay's voice echoed in their ears. "You both left me to die alone." Vijay stared at them with rage-filled eyes. "You both will have to take me along as well." Arjun and Abhimanyu's voices suddenly interrupted. Vijay alone in the restaurant and ran away. Karen and Nandini saw Abhimanyu and Arjun standing with their terrifying faces. Suddenly, Manya grabbed Karan's neck and pulled his head off his body. Nandini threw herself aside, screaming. Putting all her strength into her body, she started running again. Her breath was heavy, but she didn't stop her steps. "Who are you?" Nandini asked, trembling. She narrated the whole incident to the old woman in one breath. "Now you can't go from here, dear." "What do you mean I can't go from here?" "You're a big fool, girl. You all died instantly when your car stopped abruptly." "The car didn't stop. It met with an accident." "What nonsense are you talking? How can there be an accident with the car?" The old woman grabbed Nandini's hand and led her to a car. "Look carefully at this car." "Whose car is this?" Nandini started scrutinizing the car with widened eyes. It was her own car. She saw Vijay and Karen's bodies lying nearby. "This is where all three of you died. This is the haunted petrol pump. Whoever comes to this petrol pump always gets trapped here, and any vehicle that comes here disappears. Your car collided with an invisible vehicle." The next day, Nandini, Vijay and Karen's photos were printed in the newspaper, and it was the talk of the town. Once again, 3 people went missing at the same haunted petrol pump. What is this mystery no one could understand? And perhaps some mysteries always remain mysteries.